Hi guys. So in this video, I'm going to kind of just show you a little bit of an update on some of the stuff that I've done. I haven't done a lot, but I wanted to do this quick little video because there is something cool that I have done to one of my pages, and I think it's something that you might like to use as well. So you guys have all seen my lovely inner cover here. And my first page. The next page had been completely blank except for the words that I have written over here. So I kind of went back to something that I used to do as a kid all the time. Whenever I couldn't think of something to draw, I would just kind of randomly draw these lines on the paper and then fill in the different areas with different colors. With this page, I have been doing a lot of research on ADHD and autism and how it affects the people that have those diagnoses. And this particular piece that I found was just really kind of hit pretty hard. But it says people with those conditions can be so good at masking the things they have difficulty with so that no one notices that you're a complete mess, and then you feel like nobody loves you because no one picks up on how sad you truly are. So I feel like in today's society, we kind of get trapped in following this little tunnel of sameness. Everybody's got to be the same and normal. And I feel like a lot of people, we kind of miss out on what people are truly feeling. You say, "How are you today?" And everybody's like, "Oh, I'm good, I'm fine, I'm okay." When they're probably really not, right? That's the polite answer we've been taught to accept and give, right? So working with adults or kids that may be feeling this way is something that I kind of want to figure out and understand a little bit better, and then maybe help others realize that we can be honest with each other, right? We can tell somebody, yeah, I'm not really having the greatest day. Things have just been a little heavy and I could use a break, you know? But I liked this page. I liked the way the kind of black and white was really kind of turning out. The black part I did use a color pencil for, and it is most of it's been sharpened away at this point. It's a Prismacolor color pencil. Typically I don't feel like the more expensive art supplies are worth it, especially depending on what you plan to do with them. I will say that if you have a little bit extra to spend on color pencils, these are way more epic than just your typical color pencils you're going to find hanging in the store. You do have to press down just a little bit to get this nice thick color, but it's really worth it. And you can blend these things together and it just creates some beautiful, beautiful color blending, and just overall art is way, way prettier. And I've seen people use, regular color pencils that the school tells you to buy and create some magnificent, amazing pieces of artwork. So I'm not saying they're horrible or you shouldn't buy those ever. I'm just saying these are definitely worth it if you want to spring for some color pencils that are a little bit better. I do recommend that you use the metal handheld sharpeners for these though. If you use an electric sharpener, you're really kind of wasting a lot of this color. It kind of chews it off into the sharpener and you don't get to use it. With the plastic handheld sharpeners, they tend to bend when you're sharpening some of these color pencils that have a more dense wood that they're made out of, and it can actually end up taking chunks out of the lead part, out of the color part. But the metal ones hold their shape well, they sharpen really well. You can see just how much you've kind of sharpened down to. With these, I don't ever sharpen them to a complete point on the end because it's just going to break off, right? So keep that in mind, just throwing that out there. But I'll show you kind of real quick. This is color pencil that I used, and I'm not trying to trick you and say that it's color pencil when I really used marker or paint. Uh-oh. Oh no. All right. I pressed a little bit too hard. Well, poop. Okay. So I just wanted to show you that really quick anyway. The other really cool thing that I did with this page, good gracious, my tiny tornadoes are telling me they need my attention. I cut a little, what we call a door, into my page. So I can lift this up and I can write or put a picture or do something underneath here that's really cool. And then just as you're flipping through, you don't necessarily see it. But if you stop and kind of really look at the page, you'll find that that's there. To create this little door, I used an X-Acto knife. You can use scissors just to kind of cut that shape. And then the back side of this page was really just kind of messy looking, and it was getting on my nerves the more I looked at it. So I ended up gluing the two pages together. So if you can see that kind of seam right through there, I glued those two together so that I could put a little bit of color back here and then create this door. So nice and tidy, hidden away. If you guys have anything you would like to see on some of the upcoming videos, stuff that I could do in my little journal book here for you, I'd be happy to do them. I will have in the next video some of my old creative journals, and I'm going to tell you a little bit about some of those pages and how I made them, and probably pick a couple of those kind of techniques to start adding into this book. So thanks for popping in to watch this video. Remember to hit the like button and subscribe so you can see all of the videos, get some really cool ideas for things that you can do in your journal, and I'll see you next time.